Hey guys, it's Ryan, Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions. I'm here at the Descheemaecker Center. They're celebrating 70 years. What a great story, concept behind this building. There's a lot of information that a lot of people don't know, or maybe do know or don't know, but there's a lot of history here. And I think when as every time I come here, I'm always learning something about the center and how it started, what it started from. And I'm going to turn the camera over. Stefan, he's a third generation. He's the owner.
Yes.
You're the third one.
Yes, absolutely.
So there's a lot of pressure to keep this going.
Yes, I think, but it's a positive pressure. So to go back, it started in 1929 with my grandfather, who was a lawyer, who did his studies to become a lawyer. And my grandfather never practiced law, but he was always with his brother talking about pigeons, because they were, like all fanciers, they were really fanatic.
Okay.
And they wanted to whole day talk about pigeons. And on a certain moment, their father said, "Listen, but if you talk the whole time about pigeons, why don't you write about pigeons?" And their father had a printing business, so it was quite easy. So they would do the writing, putting everything on paper, and he would do the printing. At that time, there were no magazines. So the first magazine was published in 1929, so almost 100 years ago.
Okay. So this, and I'm going to rotate this camera just so we can see. So you can see here, guys. Let me just rotate it. So it all starts here with your magazines. So
yes.
Before the center with pigeons is here, it all starts with magazines.
Yes.
Starting in writing.
Yes.
Because your father loved to talk pigeons.
Yeah, they always talked about pigeons. They went to visit fanciers. So they started, this is the first magazine from 1929. So they started with the magazine at that time, and then gradually, at that time also in Belgium we had around 250,000 fanciers. So they put in they went to visit fanciers, people who were winning. They were always busy with that, and then. And
your father was a lawyer.
But my grandfather was a lawyer.
Your grandfather
yes,
was a lawyer.
Was a lawyer.
But your father was just pigeons, talk about pigeons, and go and visit pigeon men all over.
All over.
Belgium, Holland?
Yeah, Germany, France. So they always went to see where were national winners, could they buy pigeons, looking for strains. It was. I think they woke up thinking about pigeons, and they went to bed thinking about pigeons.
All about pigeons.
All about pigeons, and then the magazine started, and then the magazine was very successful. A lot of people took a subscription. And then gradually, so the magazine became bigger and bigger. And then in December 1936, that's when they wrote an article about how to feed your pigeons, and you should give, during breeding, this kind of mixture, molting this kind of mixture. And on that article, which was then published, they got a very positive feedback. A lot of people asked, okay, but can we not buy this mixture, or can we?
So what's amazing is in one article you have, you talk about feed, probably yes. Very passionately, what the mixture should be, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They got so much feedback back from this that the next phase of the plan comes in.
Yes, so that's when they wrote to all these fanciers saying that, oh, but we have a big demand on this moment, so please wait a bit, and it gave them the time to put within the year to put up a feed mill. So it started out of an article, and it went to become a feed mill. And gradually on, to promote the feed mill, they came to the idea. Okay, listen, we want to give pigeons away, because they said, okay, if we put vouchers into the bags, and people get 20 vouchers, they can buy or they can get a pigeon for free. So they started building the Pigeon Center, which was ended in was built in and finished in 1955, and up that they started to put the vouchers, and people would get the pigeons.
So the question, sorry to interrupt, you guys start with the newspaper, then you go to the feed. And in the feed, you put vouchers.
Yes.
So how did that work? It wasn't for every bag of feed. You had to have so many vouchers to buy a pigeon.
Yes,
Do you know how many vouchers it was?
Yeah, it was 20.
So you had to have 20 vouchers.
Yes.
And you could come here.
And then you would get a pigeon.
You would get a pigeon.
Yes.
Now, could you select the pigeon, or
no,
it was
you
just
could
a
not,
pigeon?
No, you would receive it. You could not select a pigeon.
Okay.
And so it was a big success. No one was doing it. No one was able to do it as well. So, but by the end of the 60s, beginning of the 70s, there was a new law coming up in Belgium, where it was not allowed to give something for free, which was not the same as the article you were selling. So, so all of a sudden they had the problem that they had a pigeon center, but they couldn't give the pigeons anymore away. So that's when they decided, okay, we have it, so we start selling the pigeons. So, and that's when they start selling all the strains which they had. They decided to start selling them. And the strains they had was because we have all these old strains, Bricou, Delbar. It's because they went to visit all these fanciers, so they were well befriended with the Jansen brothers. So from the beginning, from 1955, they were buying every year pigeons from Jansen.
Okay, so they would go and buy.
Yes.
And they would sell the young.
Yes, they would sell the
children
youngster.
from those.
Yes, yes.
And all the families that we see here, that's how it all started.
Yes.
They went to each one, purchased some pigeons.
And it was with the articles as well. So at the same time they went to buy pigeons, they would make an article, and it's.
It was a perfect wheel, sort of.
It is. It's now looking back after all these years, it is. You would say, oh, there was a plan behind, but there wasn't a plan behind. There was just out of one thing comes the other.
Yeah.
And then we had the pigeon center, the evolution in the pigeon center. At a certain moment, we even had a pigeon center in the south of France, so near Saint-Tropez. So it was close by. My grandfather, they had a house in the south of France, and they said, oh, but what we do, we make a pigeon center here as well with a little museum, and it was the youngsters. Because the weather was at that time a little bit colder, the youngsters, they would go to the south of France to grow up, because the temperature there was better.
Ah, okay.
So that's, and we closed the pigeon center somewhere, I think the beginning of 2000. It was closed because it was always bringing the pigeons to the south, bringing them back. So it was a little bit too much of a hassle to do the work, but it was already thinking about, okay, can we do something over there or not? And then gradually, at the beginning, people were not allowed to do the selection of the pigeons themselves. Where today we have people coming over, visitors from everywhere a little bit, and they can go in the lofts with one of our fanciers who working for us. And they would go in a loft, they can do the selection, they can choose what they want, and it's an evolution that we see is a positive evolution. And we started with we had the old strains, and then we decided also to go into the elite pigeons of living fanciers.
More modern pigeons of today's time.
Yes. Still today, if we look at the old strains, they are very wanted by people from Eastern Europe, because before they went after Second World War, they went behind the wall. But before the Second World War, they knew all these old fanciers because they were famous to them. So after the end of the 80s, when the wall came down, for them they were still thinking about the old strains. And where could they get the old strains? It's from us. So we still sell quite a lot of old strains to Poland, Romania, Bulgaria. It's still very popular. And then the newer strains, it's more for us, for Canada, United States, and Middle East and the Far East. That's where. So it's a little bit for for everyone. There is everyone can almost find what they want.
Question: when this started, what was the first strain that was brought in?
The Jansen.
Jansen was the
Yes,
first one.
yes.
So that's been the longest. That's been
Yes.
from day one.
From day one, every year we would buy pigeons from Jansen because it's close by. It was I think it's 35 kilometers from here. They were good friends from each other. They were not racing in the same club, but they were good friends. So they would go there quite often, and then they would buy pigeons. And it's when André Rothoff became the manager here. He went there quite often with my grandfather to visit the Jansen brother. Became very good friends with the Jansen brothers as well. So the story with the Jansen family continued till Louis died.
Now, my question was, so you start with the magazine, you switch to feed, then you go to have pigeons that you're giving away, then you're now selling the pigeons, and then you get into racing here as well?
Yes.
And
yes.
how did that work out?
The racing, my grandfather and his brother, they first had a loft on top of their house. So they had the typical Belgian roof lofts, and then we had a loft at the feed mill. There also on top of one of the warehouses we had a racing loft, and then the loft here, which we had, André Rothoff always raced on these lofts here. And then my grandfather moved from the warehouse in the factory to his home to have a loft over there.
And how throughout the years of the racing, how did that go for you guys? Good?
If we look at when I talk about with my grandfather, they would I think they won quite a lot of national fights. And then we stopped racing here for a certain time. So when André moved about 15 years ago to Pilderbos, then these lofts were empty, and then we had a fancier working here as well, but was our concierge, and he would race, and then quite successful. And then we had when he left at a certain moment, about I think 10 years ago, and then for some years we didn't race here.
Okay.
And we started again 5 years ago, 6 years, yeah, 2018, so that's already 7 years ago. We restarted. Beginning it was good, then we had a new loft manager, it was not good.
It goes up and down, I get it, but throughout the time when you were racing, you had some very successful seasons.
I think we were not bad.
We were not bad.
No,
and again, those were all pigeons from.
Yes, always. Yes, always coming from here. So it was our aim to race with the pigeons that we would sell.
Right.
So that people would see that okay, these pigeons are successful. So.
And another question I had at the largest point of the center. You said in a season you were ringing 40,000 pigeons.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
40,000 pigeons.
If we see over from 1955 to today, we have bought more than 2 million rings from the Belgian Federation.
That's a lot of pigeons. And I mean, you know how pigeon men are. They normally are very quiet, very secretive. You think about how many super pigeons that you've put into people's lofts that you've never heard of.
It's
possible. It has to be.
Nowadays it's easier with the all electronic systems to look at the results, but at that time it was some people were really successful with pigeons, and then we always heard it a couple of years later. Or nowadays it's easy when people are successful, then you see all of a sudden people asking for the same strains. We had it with Leus, with the black pigeons. There was in Belgium someone very successful with the black pigeon, and all of a sudden we get a demand for Leus black pigeons. So we said, but how does it come? And then we heard about, but this guy has been racing very well with the Leus pigeons. It's the same with the pigeons from Col van Dommelen, which is Cole just died a couple of weeks ago, but we have someone in France who bought in 2017 pigeons and had the first national win. I think it was on Marseille with that, and since then he's buying every year, and he's now one of the youngsters coming out of this national winner, has again won a national flight. So he's one of our best promoters of the Van Dommelen.
So it comes back around.
Yes.
And the quality of the pigeons are here. The time has been put into here. The passion is put into here. And this building that we're in, you kind of made this into a little museum.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And can we take a little walk through?
Yes,
you
yes.
Want to talk to me about it?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's remarkable. And I say to people, if you come to Belgium, you have to come here. You have to see it.
As a pigeon fancier, I think yes.
Yeah, this is the real, I say this is the real, maybe only one real pigeon church. Well, and the Leer Market, is it like a pigeon church?
It is.
This is the same sort of thing.
We have the same open doors like in February, March, and we talk with Leer Market to hear when they have opening, so we try to have it
on the same weekend.
And the same weekends, yes. So,
the same weekends in the spring you're open.
Yes.
And people can come. They can select young birds, old birds. They can select. Yeah. You put. Yes. I know you have the chip truck out here. And always buses are here.
Yeah, and people are coming. They first go 8 o'clock, 7:30. First go to Leer Market, and then afterwards they come here.
They come here. And so you guys also do the pigeon shows as well.
All
How many shows do you do?
That's a good question. We do one in Belgium, 2 in Holland. The UK, France, Germany, we do Scandinavia, Denmark, we do, and then we have our agents doing the shows if we would go to Portugal or Spain, we have agents in these countries, so they would do for us the shows then, and then we would go to visit them. So it's the whole winter. It's starting from with Kassel now at the end of November. And it goes with our open doors till the end of March, when racing season is about to start, and then we cannot find anyone here of our workers.
So it's always busy. And what's great is you guys take the pigeons. So to a pigeon show, let's say in Cassel here that's coming up, you'll take groups of all the pigeons.
Yes.
A small selection so people can.
Yeah, we take around, I think a little bit like 400, 450 pigeons.
Right.
So we know what kind of strains are really wanted. So we take elite pigeons as well as the other pigeons. We select them. They are prepared. We give them a bath and so on. And then we leave. It's Saturday, Sunday the show. We would leave on the Friday early morning, so that the pigeons are. We want them to be put in the show at their best condition.
And I have seen the pigeons at the show from you guys. Very nice, super top quality. So this is your museum.
Yes, it is.
Let's take a quick look at it.
Yes. So this is a little bit the history of the magazine. So how it started, and then the evolution of the magazine. We had for a very long time, we had a magazine in English as well. It was a yearbook, so always for a January issue with the best articles from the Flemish magazine. We had it in Chinese as well. Then we had Portuguese. We had different languages. Until today, we still have the magazine, which is monthly. And we do want, and that's a little project for next year, to have an English the same as the Dutch magazine, but in English online, so that people can have a look at it. And then we continue with a little history on pigeons, and then a big part is pigeons in the World Wars, and all like the parachute, it's all original, which we received from the French army, and it was used to put the pigeons behind the enemy lines, so we try to give people an awareness of the history of the pigeons. the exposition we made is to also, we get like this Saturday, we will have during the open doors, we will have a bus of 43 people coming over, but they have nothing to do with pigeons. They just come to visit us, and we want them to go, once they go out, so they get a tour of around 2.5 hours. We want them to go back home and say like, oh, but pigeons, you know, it's a sport.
You're right.
And most of them, their father or grandfather, they would have raised with pigeons. So they still...
It's sort of stimulating the brain for pigeon racing.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, we want them to go out and talk positive about pigeons.
Of the sport.
Of the sport. Yeah. So then we have some G.I. Joe and Cher Ami, two pigeons which were famous in the wars and which would receive medals for saving.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. And you have more here as well.
Yes, and then here this is it's a story from the in 1940. So when the Germans entered Belgium at the start of the Second World War, they said that all pigeons had to be killed because they know it were messengers. But my grandfather had met in 1938 a general. There was a trade show at that time in Germany in Cologne, and my grandfather had met there someone from the Nazi regime, a general, also pigeon fancier, and he at that time when they said okay, beginning 40s we have to kill all the pigeons, he called him and said, listen, you're a fancier as well as I am, you cannot kill the pigeons, can we not bring them to one place and keep them under your custody, but that the pigeons are not killed. So they had an agreement, so they had around 100,000 pigeons in Brussels, and they would be receiving feed and everything, but they were not killed. So it helped that after the Second World War, people would be able to collect their pigeons, and that the pigeon sport took off really quick again in Belgium. So so
again, your family had something.
Well, I think it's more. It's because it's pigeon fancy.
Yeah.
You don't want your pigeons to be killed. So if you can find a solution at that moment, you try to have that solution.
Incredible, nice story.
I think it's
saved a lot of pigeons.
Yes.
Maybe almost saved the sport. You could somewhat think.
It made the sport after the Second World that we could start racing directly again, and that the good strains they were kept. So it was not that they had to start all over from zero. So it made that, compared to other countries, Belgium took off very quickly after the Second World War.
Awesome.
And this is also, we in 1949 together with Edgard Hermann, we made a pigeon clock. So that was the Hermann clock at that time, and then afterwards we made the Junior T1, T2, till 3. So we had in the family also
doing clocks as well.
The clocks as well, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Whole.
Everything.
It seemed like each door opened the next door.
It was meeting people, meeting interesting people, and they would come up with the idea. And before it was the clocks would be in somewhere mostly near church, and then people had to run with their rings to the church, put in the gummy, and then they would be clocked. And then with these clocks, it was people. The clocks were sold to the clubs, and the clocks would be rented out to the fanciers. So the fanciers didn't have to pay the full amount. So they would rent the clock, and the clubs would do the financing. But it would give fanciers the possibility to have the clock, not to run each time. It would mostly would be the kids running to the church.
Yeah, that's right.
So then they had their clock, so they could stay at home. So it's one thing with another. We explained a little bit. The eyesight of the pigeon, how the structure of the pigeon, and we have some listening stories here. So it's just story about, okay, G.I. Joe is the story about the pigeon who saved a lot of people in the World War.
So when you come here, you can listen to the stories if you'd like.
It's in different languages, and the explanation is in Dutch, but there is a leaflet, and the leaflet is explaining the everything in English. This is the history a little bit about the clocks. So we are going back to 1875. So that's 150 years ago. So we have the old clocks and the history. So that's the 52. We came with the junior T1 clock, and then we went T2, T3. We never invested into the electronic systems, which afterwards I think we were a little bit late with that, but it was not our main business. This is also about that was a release of Barcelona. It was done by train at that time, and this is all the different systems to put the gummies around the pads of the pigeons.
Yeah, you got some beautiful.
It's a collection. We still have quite a lot, but we couldn't put everything. So this is a little bit about some fanciers, the successes they had. So we try to take people into the mind of a fancier and so on. So and
absolutely a gorgeous setup. Very well done, and this here is very.
This is
very famous.
The living room, so the original living room by the Jansen brothers. When Louis, the last of the Jansen brothers, died, we took contact with their family, and we said, okay, please don't throw away the furniture, even if it was really old furniture. So for most people, it looks like
the room.
Yes, so we said we want to have that living room. So we had every piece moved here. So it's all the furniture which was in Louis' living room with the old TV and everything. We have as well the lofts, which we took down with our carpenter, and then we build it up again because it's part of it's still the biggest name in I think in the pigeon sport, but it's part of our pigeon history I think in Belgium. So it would have been a pity to see this being thrown away or even go to China. We wanted to keep it here in Belgium. So that's why we still have visitors coming over and they say, oh, but I sat in this chair next to Louis. So it's I think it's if for a fancier, it's like you said before, if you come to Belgium and if you want to see the living room, before everyone was going to Arendonk to the Schoolstraat where they would be living because everyone wanted to.
You kept a piece of history going.
Yes, that's what we wanted. That was and we'll keep it. Yes.
And I say this is kind of like a little pigeon church. It is. There's a little. You can see it in here. You see the passion in your family that's kept this going, which is great. I do recommend people to come.
Thank you.
I mean, even if just to see it, it's mind blowing. Yeah. But what just again the detail in here that you've put, and this is just a little open area. Yeah. Look at it.
Yeah, and then we have, this is from Van Ee. It's a trophy that we received from the Van Ee family. Also 3 generations of fanciers, and then with 2 of their famous pigeons as well.
Look at Mota there, guys, from A&M Van Ee. But just, and you see, just this is maybe the best way to look at it. Look at the aerial shot of all the lofts. Quick question, how many lofts would be here? If
we're talking about the divisions, which would be 2.5 meters by 2, so in every division we would have 9 pairs sitting. We have 642 in total.
642.
On a little bit over 20,000 square meters of So that's I think 200,000 square feet of area. We have the lofts, and we still have today just under, because we did a stock taking, just under 10,000 pigeons.
10,000 pigeons
yes.
here. Now,
yes.
so celebrating your 70 years, we are going to be working with you. We're going to be doing some match pairs. We've selected a few, which every week we're going to sell a pair. I want to thank you for keeping this going. I want to thank you for working alongside of us. Again, working with Lars there. He's super nice. He's super great with the pigeons, good pigeon fingers. And I say to people, if you do come, I always recommend ask for Lars,
yes.
because I think his pigeon fingers are second to none. And you know, one thing I like is he really takes the time. Which I mean, I've only worked with him, but since the moment I started working with him, it's just excellent.
And I think what we try to do with Lars as well is, now on the videos of the pigeons that we sell, he explains what he feels, and I think he's even a better breeder than he's maybe a racer. So he has a lot of experience. He's also, I think, he's like most pigeon fanciers. He's crazy about pigeons.
He comes to my place all the time, and it's kind of like your family. All we talk about is pigeons, pigeons. So it's super, and thanks for taking me through. We don't have to go outside. We'll just stay in here for today. I might do a walkthrough just quietly. But what a great setup. What's your plans for in the future? What are you hoping for?
We will continue to invest. That's 100% sure. So we don't look at the short term. We look at the long term. We want it for generations to continue. So we will continue to invest in elite pigeons, in finding other strains, in finding other ways of selling, maybe things that we don't know today. We thought about, we still have a company in China as well. They are more and more working on the 3D filming of pigeons. So we are thinking about how can we bring it into the pigeons that we are selling. Of course, everyone wants to see the wing and everything, but still we want to see the next evolutions in pigeons, but it's as well in with the electronic rings, the tracking of the pigeons, because today it's possible, but would be nice to be able to follow your pigeons the whole way. So these evolutions are, I think, very interesting to see, and we hope to be part of that.
Well, it sounds like still going up and up, still living the dream, still
living the dream, absolutely.
Keeping the family passion in it. Stefan, I want to thank you for allowing me to come. I want to thank you for our listeners.
My pleasure.
A little more education in on this. You guys do have a website as well.
Yes.
So people can go on and look at pigeons online.
Yes, and the history is there. There is a little movie of around 10 minutes, which was made on our philosophy and on the Pigeon Center as well. And maybe one thing to close, what I wanted maybe to show is this little statue here. This is the saint of the pigeon fanciers. So it's somewhere, I should look for the exact date. There is a day in November that there was a saint for the pigeon fanciers. It's Katharina from Labouré. So it was a French nun which became the saint of the pigeon fanciers. And in our factory, it was tradition that day all the pigeon fanciers would get a day off. And still today, that's why she's here. She protects the pigeon fanciers, and this statue was on top of the natural feeding factory or the feed mill. We had the statue because she's protecting us as pigeon fanciers.
Oh, wow, that's incredible.
So it's
Stefan, I want to thank you again for your time. Great. I hope people are informed. I'm going to just rotate this over. Hey, I told you guys, you come here, you see it for yourself. Seeing is believing. This is a pigeon church. Just take your time. It's well worth it. You won't be disappointed. You can make appointments. And in the springtime, you can come. I hope you guys like this. I know I did. Every time I come here, I learn just a little bit more. That's what makes this place so special. Like, share, and subscribe. And hey, that's 70 years. You just got it in 35 minutes. Thanks for playing with us. Bye for now.